Welcome to World's Erudition, where deep insights meet powerful knowledge, unveiling the hidden truths behind motivation, success, and the human mind. Research suggests dark motivation, driven by negative emotions like fear and insecurity, can fuel short-term achievements but may harm mental health long-term. It seems likely that balancing dark motivation with positive forms, like passion, is key for sustainability and well-being. The evidence leans toward dark motivation being effective for overcoming procrastination and meeting deadlines, but its downsides, like stress and burnout, are notable and controversial among psychologists. What is dark motivation? Dark motivation is when you're driven by negative emotions such as fear of failure, jealousy, or insecurity, rather than positive factors like passion or purpose. For example, you might work harder after seeing a peer succeed out of jealousy, or push yourself out of fear of losing your job. It taps into deeper drives from adversity, focusing on resilience and the human spirit's need to overcome, not just negativity. Why it can be powerful? Research shows dark motivation can be effective for short-term goals, like overcoming procrastination or achieving quick results under pressure. It provides a competitive edge in environments like sports or business and can act as emergency motivation when positive inspiration is lacking. For instance, a study on exercise professionals found that feeling pressured led to using controlling strategies, which helped in the short term but decreased well-being over time. The dark side of motivational practices in exercise professionals. Mediators of controlling strategies. The risks and downsides. However, relying on dark motivation long-term can lead to mental health issues, such as anxiety, depression, and burnout, as chronic stress can damage the brain. According to Harvard Medical School, protect your brain from stress. It can also result in poor decision-making, strained relationships, and physical health effects due to cortisol flooding the system. Dark motivation, often termed dark motivation matter, or the dark side of motivation, is characterized by motivation stemming from negative emotions such as fear, jealousy, insecurity, anxiety, anger, frustration, and disgust. Unlike traditional positive motivation, which is fueled by passion, love for the task, or desire to help others, dark motivation is rooted in the urge to move away from pain or discomfort. For instance, an individual might be motivated to work out after seeing someone in better shape, driven by jealousy, or take computer science classes out of fear of job loss to AI. As noted in recent discussions on AI's impact on jobs, the rise of AI resentment at work, why employees are pushing back. Research suggests this form of motivation is particularly potent because it leverages high-energy negative emotions, which can be more effective at eliminating distractions and laziness compared to positive thinking alone. The concept is not without controversy, as some argue it can be a double-edged sword, offering short-term gains but potentially leading to long-term harm. A personal perspective from what is dark motivation. Unveiling its power and purpose adds depth, describing dark motivation as a fuel from struggle, pain, and the desire to overcome, focusing on resilience and the human spirit's need to prove oneself, not just driven by anger, but by breaking free. Mechanisms and examples. Dark motivation operates by channeling these negative emotions into action, often as a response to perceived threats or inadequacies. Examples include working harder after being fired to secure a better job, driven by insecurity. Improving social skills post-breakup due to feelings of rejection, as mentioned in personal accounts. Entrepreneurs pushing through late nights out of fear their business will fail, as shared in Dark Psychology and Manipulation. Are you unknowingly using them? Dr. Jason Jones. Recent examples include employees upskilling in response to AI-driven job loss fears, with research showing that nearly 2/3 expect major AI impact on the workforce. The rise of AI resentment at work. Why employees are pushing back. The mechanism is believed to be more powerful than positive motivation in certain contexts because it creates a strong urge to avoid negative outcomes, such as failure or social comparison. However, this intensity can also lead to a cycle of dependency, where individuals feel they cannot be motivated without negative triggers, potentially seeking out such emotions, as discussed in the role of dark side of motivation and intention to continue in exercise. A self-determination theory approach. Benefits and effectiveness. The effectiveness of dark motivation lies in its ability to generate immediate action, particularly in high-pressure situations. It can help overcome procrastination, as the fear of failure or negative consequences acts as a catalyst. For example, a student might study intensely before an exam out of fear of failing, or an employee might work overtime to meet a deadline due to anxiety about job security. Research, such as that discussed in the role of dark side of motivation and intention to continue in exercise, a self-determination theory approach, suggests it can be beneficial in bursts, such as fighting negative thoughts or getting rid of procrastination, with specific ways outlined in the following table. Benefit description: overcoming procrastination. Fear of failure prompts immediate action, reducing delays. Short-term goal achievement. High-energy emotions drive focus and effort for quick results. Competitive edge, useful in environments where comparison or fear of loss is prevalent. Breaking negative thought cycles. Channeling insecurity into productive tasks can reduce rumination. Emergency motivation acts as a fallback when positive motivation is insufficient. However, these benefits are often short-lived and context-specific, with diminishing returns over time, as seen in exercise settings where controlled motivation led to weaker intentions to continue, especially among female, young, and less experienced exercisers. Drawbacks and risks. Despite its effectiveness, dark motivation carries significant risks, particularly for long-term well-being. Research and personal accounts highlight several drawbacks, summarized in the following table. Risk description: mental health strain, increased stress and anxiety from constant fear-based motivation. Poor decision-making, impulsive choices driven by fear, often leading to long-term costs. Unsustainability, dependency on negative emotions can lead to burnout and depression. Relationship impact, insecurity and comparison can strain personal and professional connections. Physical health effects, cortisol flooding can damage the body and brain over time. These risks underscore the need for a balanced approach, acknowledging the complexity and potential controversy around relying on dark motivation, especially given its debated effectiveness in long-term settings. For instance, protect your brain from stress sites, stress affecting memory and decision-making. While the dark side of motivational practices in exercise professionals, mediators of controlling strategies, notes job pressures leading to controlling behaviors and reduced well-being. Balancing dark and light motivation. To mitigate the risks, experts advocate for balancing dark motivation with light motivation, which is driven by passion, purpose, and self-actualization. This balance involves using dark motivation sparingly, in bursts, to avoid mental health issues, as advised in What is Dark Motivation? Unveiling its power and purpose, channeling negative emotions into action, and then letting go, ensuring they do not dominate one's psyche. Shifting to light motivation as confidence and purpose grow, as seen in personal journeys where individuals move from insecurity-driven to purpose-driven motivation. Practical tips include setting clear goals to focus on positive outcomes, seeking therapy to address underlying fears, and cultivating a sense of intrinsic value, as highlighted in the dark side of motivational practices in exercise professionals. Mediators of controlling strategies. This balance is crucial for long-term success, ensuring motivation is sustainable and aligned with personal well-being, as supported by self-determination theory in the role of dark side of motivation and intention to continue in exercise. A self-determination theory approach. Practical applications and when to use dark motivation. Dark motivation can be particularly effective in specific scenarios, such as overcoming procrastination, where fear of missing deadlines can prompt action. Facing significant challenges, like learning new skills under threat of job loss, as exemplified by the AI job loss fear motivating computer science classes, with recent research noting nearly 2/3 expect major AI impact on the workforce. The rise of AI resentment at work. Why employees are pushing back. Competitive environments, where comparison can drive performance, though care must be taken to avoid toxicity. However, it should be used judiciously, with strategies like setting time limits for fear-based motivation and pairing it with positive reinforcement. For instance, using fear to start a project, but then focusing on its rewarding aspects can maintain momentum without burnout, as suggested in Dark Psychology and Manipulation. Are you unknowingly using them? Dr. Jason Jones. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever been driven by dark motivation? Was it helpful or harmful? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you found this video insightful, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We dive deep into the psychology of success every week.